The pleasure is mine.
Have a wonderful show, as I'm sure you will.
You already know what it is.
And you're back.
Yes, I'm back. Spray it up. Make it rain. The VOR is back. No, just you sit down. I want you to be able to touch the table if you want. Be able to rest your hand on the table.
Not feeling worried.
Go. There you go. Table wipe. Look at that. I don't appreciate that. I don't know. All right.
Probably no link. I'll just be like, do the work. I already sent you the whole thing.
No, they want you.
I'll be tired. Like what link? Just
What up, y'all? Welcome in. VOR. Do me a favor. Can you hand me those headphones? Jangling. That's cool. Either way. Can you hear?
Exactly what's going on because it takes two to tango, and I need to hit his side of the story. So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We sleep with us and fight every day and every night. Please give us some advice, so we can see the light. See the light. Okay, so let's just get to the root of the borderline and narcissist attractive dynamic, right? Attraction dynamic, I should say. So when we think about sort of what are the qualities of a narcissist, we're talking about, and I'm talking about your classic sort of form here, not the very different subtypes, but in general, we have a lack of empathy. We have grandiose sort of sense of self, right? Feeling like they are better than others, oftentimes driven clearly by a very low sense of self inside, but that is masked behind the mask that the narcissist wears. We can see a more victim type mentality, like no one sees how great I am, and so that can be a little more, harder to understand and diagnose if you don't see this parent as your classic or partner or, whoever this person is, over-the-top narcissist. But it really is a very wounded and defended way of being in the world. And at the core, you might also see rage or anger or punishment. You're going to see really a true lack of ability to mirror others, to have true empathy. As I always talk about, there's the narcissist and the mirror, and there's not much else going on there. Now, when we think about a borderline, we're thinking more about fears of rejection and abandonment and wanting to be loved. And yes, borderlines also have often that very deeply wounded sense of self, if they have sense of self. Sometimes it can be very fluctuating and changing. But at the core, they really have a difficult time navigating emotions, navigating relationships, navigating sense of self. And often there's a lot of chaos going on for borderlines. Now, of course, it really does matter, do you have the traits or the disorder? Are you in treatment or not? So I'm talking about generally untreated situations, as I'm going to describe in this scenario, right? So the core of a narcissist is really lack of empathy, difficulty with attunement, oftentimes coming across very confident on the outside, but deeply inside feeling very much less than, although many of them have a hard time even connecting to that. And they think they're fine. They often don't come to therapy, right? Now, remember also for narcissists that we are still trying to understand how much of narcissism comes from a biological component, but we do know that environment also, for sure, at this point, we do know that can help definitely create the qualities of narcissism in children. And the problem I have with all the current content of narcissists is that we bash on them culturally so much, but often really fail to understand that the core of this wound is often a childhood where there was a lack of mirroring, where there was perhaps a lot of achievement and or what we call the classic avoidant attachment dynamic, where the child's needs and mirroring and attunement, all of that is dismissed. And the child experiences that as rejection, right? And so the child often deactivates their attachment needs.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason returns for 2024 with another slapper, man. We about to get busy up in here. So if you don't want to think, get out. Get out. If you don't want to look inside, get out. Get out. The voice of reason has returned, of course, with reinforcements. We got a heavy topic tonight. And I'm listening to that clip. And I hear John Bowlby's work in that clip, different attachment styles. But wait a minute. I'm hearing all of that. I'm going, wait a minute. Hold on. We're about to peel the onion all the way back. Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason live from KBLA Talk 1580. Tonight's topic, the relationship funhouse.
It's going to be fun.
Toxic mirroring with my special guest. My sister has returned. You already know who she is. Dr. Mcall from Insight Services. I want to say the other name. Dr. Pacoya Mcall has returned, and this is her topic. You bumped somebody else's topic. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah. You bumped somebody else's topic. This is a heavy topic, a deeper look at how some dysfunctional personality traits mirror others in our relationship. We're going to get deep. We're going to get deep. So, specifically, before I even ask all my questions, I want people to get a great understanding of what a narcissist is versus someone with, BPD, right?
The borderline personality.
Yes. What are the difference, and what's the difference between the two? And are these personality traits? Are these disorders? What are they?
Right. So they both are personality disorders.
Mm-hmm.
So many years ago, these were considered these Axis 2 type diagnoses. So these types are more so characteristic flaws. When it's a flaw in your personality, it's not something you can medicate away. A lot of times therapy doesn't often work to shift these characteristics in whether it's males, females. Narcissistic personality disorders most commonly in males, and it's with borderline personality disorder. It's most commonly in females. But when you see those two traits switch and become, a woman narcissist versus a male borderline,
Come on.
in therapy, it's one of the most difficult things I say I have to deal with. It's really hard. Those two personality disorders on their own are very, very difficult to deal with. So then even when it flip-flops and it's not gender specific, but it's just more common in one or the other, it's difficult. It's difficult to flip with them.
Jeez, and how do they relate to attachment styles? Because when you describe narcissism, what attachment style pops up in your head?
So it's both. So what happens is there's these overly harsh parents, and then these very abandoning, critical parents, right? So it could be overly harsh in a way where you're never good enough, they're never satisfied. So it's constant critique that becomes, I'm never enough. Hi everyone, Happy New Year. And then on that other side of the coin, it's not enough. You're lacking because you're not getting affection. You're not getting love. That parent is absent. So you're doing all this work yourself and you're still not being rewarded. So there often comes where the woman in the clip was saying there's this wound, there's this gap, there's this void of always needing to feel important, needed to feel respected, needing to feel loved, needing
Seen,
to be
heard.
needed.
Yes.
Right? Whereas on this other end, our borderlines have the same type of wounds, but their response becomes, I'm trying to, and remember, it's common in women, so how do women seek attention? So then we have to think there, these relationships are all superficial between the narcissist and the borderline because they both need to be needed. They're both trying to fill that gap from the parent wound, right? So when they are matching up, when they're mirroring
fitting
each other, right?
They're a relationship fitting.
They fit like puzzles. So where I was saying it doesn't feel good, but it fits good. Their honeymoon stage is real honeymoon because they both can dive into relationships so quickly because of that need they both share of being needed. And then they're attaching shallowly. We all have had shallow attachments. All right, you're cute. Like a little big butt and a smile, right? The girl's not poison though. But you see what I mean? We like what we like. But when we start attaching emotionally, primitively, or emotionally with no depth, these are the kind of toxic relationships we can have. So I thought it was important to start this new year off right because we all went home and did our work. We all have New Year's resolutions. We all have winning is everything. We're documenting our wins. So we want to start off right with how am I going to recognize if I'm in this relationship, if I've been in a relationship with someone.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The voice of reason is about to act a complete fool tonight. We got questions. And the deeper piece to this, they attract each other. When we come forward, more from the VOR.
They attract each other.
That's crazy.
Those wounds are deep.
I love it. My son just called me. Yo, I'm live on the radio, man. But don't worry, I'm gonna come see you before you leave. All right? I'm gonna come see you. All right. You're not gonna talk to my peoples? They in there? What up, y'all?
I usually see the thing going boop, 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 boop. What up? Oh. See, usually that's what I was like, no one's saying anything.
Yeah.
Hi, Pete already.
Yes.
All right. How many narcissists are in the building?
I guess
Where's my borderlines at?
You know me. Am I a narcissist? I think I might be a little narcissistic.
See again. We got traits.
I think I have
There's
traits
some
of all of it.
Everybody's got traits.
That's why when I'm listening
Everybody's
to the
got traits.
breakdown, I don't feel like it's static.
No.
You know, yeah.
We all got traits. We all have these traits. So it's not.
But that
gonna-
doesn't mean we all have a disorder.
Absolutely. You got to be
Cool.
meeting all the criteria. You got to hit all the check boxes, though. So for now, you're safe.
I'm safe
You're
for
just
now.
walking around with a couple traits.
I got a couple traits. I'm out here
You
trading.
know, and these traits, they good. They're also good, you know. Get you in a room, you know, you don't get walked over much. You might do a little walking over.
I'm not gonna get walked over.
Right. It's very rare a narcissist gets walked over.
Yeah, no.
But, you know, it's good. I know. Happy New Year, everybody.
Everybody hit that like button for
Hi.
me. And don't forget,
Thank you,
Super
Phil.
Chat. Don't forget, this is the first show of the year. You come in, man, drop a 2 and few
I'm
on the
blessed
Super
that
Chat.
This is the first show of the year. I
It
didn't even
is.
realize that.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize.
You in here.
Thank you.
Borderline.
Mm-hmm.
Wait till you hear my playlist.
Have you dated one or the other? Like, that's
I
what
think-
we want to see.
I think
wanna
I've
know.
dated a combination.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Happy New Year to you and the chat crew. I love your chat crew. Your people, they're never disappointing in the chat, man.
Catch those likes up. Come on.
So
Y'all know the
basically,
Super Chat
this
rule. Come on.
relationship
2s and fews.
and
Where are
The
you?
kiddie pool. Madonna for sure. Gotta know your playlist.
Ladies and gentlemen, wake up, Los Angeles. This is like a morning show. Let's go.
Get up, get out,
Hey.
and get some.
You already know my playlist is my co-host. That's who is that? Is that her? Yeah. The song is called Damage. Yeah. I think we all damage each other to some degree. But tonight's topic is a heater, man. The relationship fun house toxic mirroring, a deeper look at how some dysfunctional personality traits can mirror others in your intimate relationship. You already know I got questions. What does a narcissist look like in a relationship? Is the role gender specific? 1-800-920-1580. You know this is a national conversation. And of course, it's a non-judgmental space, so everybody can call in and give their perspective. In intimate relationships, are we really looking for someone to fit our particular kind of insanity? Yikes, that was mean. 1-800-920-1580. Call me! I want to know which dysfunctional personality trait fits like puzzle pieces together. Very interesting. You hear people say this a lot, and I think people don't really understand how deep this rabbit hole goes. The first person I ever documented saying it was the philosopher Jiddu Krishnamurti. Right? Jiddu Krishnamurti was born in 1895, died in 1986, and he inspired a lot of people. So when you see the Eckhart Tolles and the, Deepak Chopras of the world, even Bruce Lee, all of these guys were influenced by Krishnamurti, right? And really, the aristocracy knew more of him than anybody else. But he's heavy, very heavy. And he has a book called Relationship as a Mirror, right? And he talks about the mirroring of relationships, right? And I have a quote from him here. It's very deep. He says, "Relationship is a mirror in which I see myself as I am. But as most of us do not like what we are, we begin to discipline either positively or negatively what we perceive in the mirror of relationships. So when we talk about, you know, personality traits, right? Or when we talk about attachment styles, we already know certain attachment styles are attracted to each other, drawn to each other. Now you're telling me certain personality traits do the same. This is the manifestation of his work, relationship as a mirror. Can you go deeper into that?
Absolutely, yes. So even talking about those personality traits, and as we're sitting here and having this fluid conversation, using even the word a narcissist or a borderline, just remember using this and not this way to name call or judge a person and say you have to meet criteria and all these things in order to become or be considered a narcissist or have narcissistic personality disorder. Same thing for borderline personality disorder. So even as you're listening to this and you're like, maybe I have some of these traits, and we have to keep using that term traits. But as we're discussing this particular relationship type, this relationship style, these mirroring, these two tend to mirror these traits that they have, these deep wounds, these voids, and these needs. So there's what's considered something called object constancy, right? And it's basically, think of all or nothing. Either you're good or you're bad to me. Either I love you or I hate you. And this is what the two hold as common. So narcissist shows up. What does the narcissist need? I need to be needed. I need someone to reinforce my self-esteem. I need to be worshipped. I am your God. What does the borderline need? The borderline needs to be needed as well in a different way. Love me, take care of me, reassure I am loved, and never abandon me. So as I pour into you, as I water you with, oh, you help me, I'm constantly damseled in distress. As the borderline, I need you to love me. So the toxic part of the borderline, because these things could be great. I need you to love me, I'm kind, right? The toxic part is when they're not feeling loved, when their partner is not doing what they need them to be doing, right? How do they respond? They respond as extreme as, I can hurt myself, I can kill myself, I'm going to leave you, I'm going to bust the windows out your car, right? All of these things to get this attention.
Or as benign as, I'll never forgive you.
Absolutely.
I'll hold it against you forever.
Forever and ever. They'll talk bad about you, make you feel horrible, right? And the narcissist, that's going to reopen that childhood wound. And they go into caretaking. Like, I have to rescue you. You have become that parent figure that wounded me, that I'm always trying to get and seek this acceptance from, right? So they naturally turn on also. So this bickering, this mirroring actually attracts the two together because of their same type of wound.
You know what's heavy about what you just described? It sounds like the narcissist, once that wound is reopened, turns into an anxious, preoccupied.
Absolutely. And trying to close it by making you say, no, I'm good. I take care of you. I provide for you. So when I even see these couples, and I've seen them in psychiatric facilities, if one is in the hospital, the other is like, oh, my baby. But oftentimes they're the ones who put the other person there. It's the most bizarre thing. And they turn into like this helicopter partner. Like, they're in there cussing out doctors. You're not enough. You better I'll sue you, and then they walk out like, my baby. And you're like, what is happening?
I wasn't your baby when you put me in here.
Right. But remember, it's all or nothing. It's a black and white. Like, either when you're good, you're good. And when you're bad, you're bad. See, the two can't stay in like loving the person, even if you make me angry, right? That's where that communication, like, it's okay, you're still good. It's either we're on or we're off. And when they're off, they're okay with that moment of fighting, no matter how vicious it gets, because that's their cycle. That's what fits good for them. They're getting that need met. Someone's showing up for me, no matter what I do.
That's I don't.
It is. It's the C word.
I was about. To,
it's the C word.
I was about to let it rip, man.
That's profanity. in therapy
Oh
offices.
my
You can use a C word.
goodness.
But
That's
it's deep
wild.
in that sense. So, I mean, I was working with someone, and it's that partnership that I was like, oh my goodness, this happens all too often. We got New Year around the corner. Let me call my brother. How do your fans hear about this? What can we do to help our people in this new year, even just recognizing these things, even if we're not so all or nothing about good times and bad times in our relationships?
It sounds like these two people can't or haven't mastered being in a relationship with a human being, because human beings are flawed. You said it's black and white.
Oh, right.
Human relationships need context and understanding.
Not with it. And that's the flaw in these two. That's also what they share. So think about workplace proximity. How many relationships go awry or cheating happens with a workplace person because of proximity? These share what we call this intimacy skill. An intimacy skill is how well are we at finding common things like communication in another person. So outside of our physical attraction to each other, when I'm thinking, the kind of person I want them to be able to communicate, to be honest, to operate with integrity, to be able to express themselves properly when they are angry or when they are sad. They can tell me those things. They can still be mad at me and still be patient with me and loving towards me. These two cannot be loving when they're mad at one another.
You know what? This is blowing me away right now. I had an idea, an epiphany as you were talking. And you're a therapist, for Christ's sake. You should create this. A trait journal.
Oh, heavens. Call on sweet baby Jesus.
Do you understand me? Sweet baby Jesus, the little baby in the manger. Manger Jesus. We need a trait journal where you keep track of the traits that surface from your subconscious. What do you think?
It can be done. Well, then what do we do with it?
Listen, that's on you.
Okay.
Whatever trait come up out your abyss is none of my business.
It's like, how do we end the journal? Like, do you burn it at the end? Because all these traits, remember, I have narcissistic traits.
Yeah.
But narcissistic traits, keep me from jumping off cliffs sometimes because the world is mean. I need to go out in the world and be like, I am omnipotent, I am beautiful, I am great, I am wonderful.
If you get to 3,500 traits, though, you might have a disorder. When we come forward, the voice of reason will keep this fire going.
Not 3,500 negative traits. Interesting.
I'm
Take
telling
it to
you.
your therapist.
You better make it.
Hand it over.
Yeah.
You know what?
I'm telling you, you better
something
make
for
it.
you.
The trait journal, you better make it. I'm telling you.
Woo.
The trait journal?
The trait journal?
Yeah.
It can be done. What do they want to know? What happens though?
You're gonna
give
have
it to your journal and be
build
like,
that into the journal as like somewhat of a template.
and when you find out all of this about you,
Yeah.
do this. Do something with it.
Yes.
That just means people are well enough to identify their traits though.
But
I'm not mean. I'm just honest. No, you're mean.
You're mean.
No, that's called being
You're
honest.
callous. You're cold.
Says according to who? Right?
Hey, the trait journal.
Trait journal.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you that's your next $1 million. I done put it out publicly now.
I see people are there and they said, yeah.
Keep cooking, Doc.
Have it to the pattern. How will you deal with it? There would need to be an accountability. Like, who?
You put that in the journal.
At the end of the day, if you check 16, it's like you
Look
need
at
to
that.
read
A
those
trait
magazines.
deconditioning companion. Wow. They're giving you $1 million ideas. I'm trying to tell you.
Love y'all. This is why I keep coming back. This is why I said it's the new year, and we got people out here wanting to be new selves. We gotta understand.
Well, there's a lot of people out here who think ain't shit wrong with
Ain't
them.
nothing wrong with me.
Ain't a goddamn thing wrong.
The
You the
borderline and the
wrongest part of
narcissist.
this relationship. You.
That's the mirror. They both point at each other, and then they eat popcorn later.
Man, oh man, it's Chevy. This good. The trait journal. All right, y'all. All right now. Can we stop playing? Now it's time for y'all to get on the phone lines. You already know who's on the line. Sean is on the line right now. Come on now. Let's get the phone lines cracking. It's the first show of the year. I need to hear from everybody. Do not hold back. I'm going to try to get everybody in as quick as I can. What did you say? Zoe get what? What'd you say? Zoe get a buzz? What? I missed it. Where is it? Damn it, I missed it. What'd you say? Zoe get a buzz off of what? Somebody said, what's Doc's Cash App? What's your Cash App? Somebody want to send you a little piece of change.
Get my journal started.
Yeah. Trait journal. Crazy. With an accountability companion in the back. Once you identify all this shit, now here are some steps. Woo. Where are your friends? Mm-hmm. Hey, Andy, can you close your door? Because when I hear whatever you're playing in there, I'll hear it in here. Yeah. She said, let me know. I'll post it. What they want to know what your Cash App is.
Cash App is $ Picoya. Hey, Picolya.
Just get it. Yeah.
Just get it here.
Can y'all see that?
$ Picoya.
Picolya. $ Picoya. $ Picoya. They got it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thanks for putting a little something on my journal.
A little something on the new
A
journal.
little something on the new journal.
I'm trying to tell you.
I can make it. I'm gonna go home and think about it. Well, I told you.
She need a picture of Zoe. Oh, here we go. Doc is hella dope. They loving you. All right, y'all, get to the phone lines. You know the number, 1-800-920-1580. 1-800-920-1580. I need my callers in here. I need my people to call in and share their perspective on this insight, okay? Please call in right now. Oh, buzzed off of Lysol? I'm not buzzed. I'm turned up right now. What did I have? 2 weeks? Did I have 2 weeks off? I think I had. Was it 2 weeks? Show Doc some love. They putting your Cash App in there now.
They're popping. Y'all are great.
Yeah. These good folks.
You gotta love it. Happy New Year.
Hey, yeah, that was 2 weeks. Yo, yo, yo. Everybody continue to hit the super chat. Share the live, okay? Share the live. We back at it. You okay? I'm glad you're not on camera.
I know.
What in the world?
My nose is running. It's cold in here.
Oh, now it's cold. Okay.
Yeah, you all right? I'm buzzed off the Lysol.
Lysol. Okay. That's cool.
Lysol.
Everybody hit it, hit it, hit it. Hit that like button. We're doing good on the likes. Come on, wake up. Get with my energy. Let's go. Live in 1 minute. Got a winter bug and a sore throat. Shit sucks. I believe it.
Only on KBLA Talk 1580. Clip right after.
wonder why these, what might look like very opposite personality disorders, would attract to one another. So it's a combination between having things in common, but also there's definitely an element of opposites attracting. I met with a couple who wanted to engage in some couples therapy. The female was very high on borderline traits and male quite high on narcissistic traits. When I asked the female what attracted her to her male partner, she said he was so confident, charismatic. He was definitely someone that she really looked up to. And when she was with her male partner in social situations, she felt much better because he would really draw an audience and she would kind of copy his confidence in these situations. When I asked the male what attracted him to the female, he said that he really enjoyed the attention that she gave him, how much she admired him, how much praise she gave him, how much she looked up to him. He really felt admired by this female.
Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready.
Ooh,
You like that?
absolutely.
You like that?
It's absolutely. So the song, beautiful. I love it.
What?
The voice of reason.
You like the little
Anyway,
drop?
the
Oh yeah,
clingers,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Borderlines are often considered clingy because they do attach to partners in a relationship for the fear of the emptiness they feel, the loneliness that they feel. So that narcissist often feels that void, and that plastic wrap, it feels him because it's like, oh, okay. So these are the type of males that I've seen. They'll come and complain like, oh my gosh, she can't live without me. She can't do this and this. And it's like, well, why do you stay? And it's that they're not going to be like, well, because my mom never loved me so much. So this is that replacement of that wound. So it is that they need each other.
Wow.
They need each other even. And again, sometimes it's not as violent and toxic in its worst case scenarios, but emotionally it is. Emotionally it can be, because again, when we're using our trait journal and we're checking off, I'm actually shallow, or I'm empty, or I'm lonely, or I'm afraid to be abandoned, does that person say those are their negative traits? Or is there something wrong with, no, I mean, I rely on my mate. I rely on my man. He makes me feel confident. He makes me feel protected. He makes me feel safe. So they stay in relationships even when they're physically abused or even when they're verbally abused, because that is not as great as the feeling of being alone. It's not as scary.
Man, the relationship funhouse, toxic mirroring. The voice you just heard was Dr. Pacoya Mcall. She's in the building tonight. She's from ofNsightMe Services. And our topic is heavy because you guys hear me talk about this ever since I got to KBLA. Relationship is a mirror, a highly reflective classroom where the biofeedback you get from your partner is your personal curriculum. Your traits is part of that biofeedback, your personality traits, and she is breaking it down. Not only that, your attachment styles, what you modeled, that's part of it all. And you guys are sharing it in the relationship. Tonight's topic is a heavy one. We're talking about toxic mirroring. Now, this is a concept that sheds light on the intricate dynamics within dysfunctional relationships, particularly those involving individuals with personality or with borderline personality disorder, BPD, and narcissistic traits. These guys are attracted to each other. These guys are soulmates, or I should say cellmates. This show aims to explore the profound emotional, mental, and spiritual effects of toxic mirroring on the individuals involved. Additionally, we will try to provide strategies for recognizing and addressing toxic mirroring. We're going to try to help you find support and resources in ofNsightMe Services. That's her business. That was a quick little plug right there. Again, we're going to try to help you establish healthy boundaries. I like to call them soundries. We're going to teach you how to break free from toxic relationships. And we're going to teach you how to foster self-care practices. And we're going to discuss all of that. This is going to be deep, 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 deep. We got callers on the line. Dr. P, are you ready?
I am ready
To talk to somebody who might be BPD or?
Let's do it.
or
I'm
not?
ready.
I want a narcissist to call in. Well, I'm already on the show.
You're here.
I-
You're gonna tell me you don't know what you're talking about, Doc. That's what the narcissist gonna get
The
in
narcissist
here.
is gonna come in.
See, it's gonna be a lie.
You know, I like what you say a little bit, but there's a couple of
You still don't
things
know.
you don't really know. Okay, here we go. We got Sean from Oakland, California.
Yeah,
Get in here.
Yeah.
Hey. Well, Ms. Mcall, it's an honor to be in this little chat with you and, of course, Zoda, the voice of reason. You know, my thing, with this conversation about narcissism and all that is that you guys have been hitting it on the nose. But I am saying that, it's all about, if I'm breaking it down to its simplest form, if you are in a relationship, especially if you have children, you have to be present. You have to be present. And you guys did hit on that briefly, but I'm saying you have to be present. And you have to be present and make that your most important thing that you do if there's children involved. Even if there's not children involved, it's a good habit to have. Be present with the person you love and do the best you can and make sure that they know that you're present. And that's my 2 cents on this. But I have to tell you that, narcissists, the only way you could tame someone who's a narcissist, and I love baseball, I love athletics and all that, and most of these people are so confident. It's really confident, right? There's a really fine line between serious confidence and narcissism. But if you can be present, Break out the phone call. keep the lines of communication open and say, hey, I know what you're talking about, but you've got to listen to me too, then I think there's, that opens the lines of communication.
Sean, guess what you just did, my friend?
Brother, I'm always with Oakland.
You brought Oaktown in the building. If you want to bring your city into this national discussion, all you got to do is call us at 1-800-920-1580. We on fire tonight. We got callers on the line. Let's get them up in here after we come forward.
I have to remember what Sean said.
Yes.
I remember. But yeah, that's the thing. Being present, remind me that. Presence. The problem is
Let me see.
overly present. What? What can I say?
He was right then.
Not really. He's there.
He
He's
was
in there.
he
He's
was
in there,
he was there.
but he's just saying be present for the what are we saying? What you see?
Your journal.
Be present. It's exactly.
Look what I got. And it's mine.
And
Winning
it's signed.
is everything. Her journal, man. And I got a love letter from my sister. Winning is everything. Man, support black business.
Start at the back.
Oh.
Start at the back. So you gotta read the directions.
I always start at the back.
And that's good.
Hey. Huh. Is this your mom? Or is this Jackie Robinson, the baseball player?
Remember, Robinson is. Gotta be Robinson's in the family.
Exactly.
My mother's last name is Jones.
Ah,
Be keeping up with the Joneses.
I love it. I love it.
Keeping up with the Joneses.
Life is not filled with opportunities to make easy decisions, but today you can make a decision to A, choose you, believe in yourself, C, both. Huh. Huh.
What are we gonna do today?
Winning is everything. Where do they go? Everybody got the okay, you guys are putting the link. They're putting the link in there. Come on, everybody go get it. Winning is everything. Thank you for my book. I don't want to read it right now. My brother,
Sit with the- You can.
you are winning in so many ways.
That's how I talk too. That's how
I gotta say it in a Harry Potter voice. My
in
brother.
so many ways.
Right.
what do you, what's her name? Dang, I couldn't even think of her name.
Hermione.
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 Hermione. They got the link in there now. What's up? What's up? Yes, sir. Attila say, you know we own it. Everybody get in here. Call me. I don't know why. Where's Tapped In? Where is Nazarene? Where is Truemonger?
Hi,
You see, she
Truemonger.
asked for you, Truemonger. Come on.
Truemonger got, it's having to get his journals. He received
Come
his
on.
journals.
Y'all got to get in here, man. What y'all waiting on? Where Tapped In at? All right, here we go. Where is I'm staying on point? Ladies and gentlemen, are you a narcissist that's in love with a borderline personality?
Oh, this is perfect. That was a perfect
The
song.
borderline, my
Take
playlist,
that. Take that.
is my co-host. The Voice of Reason is on fire tonight. First show of 2024. And if you thought I was going to take my foot off of your necks, sorry. Again, so many people are focused on just the good aspects of relationships, right? Just being able to participate in the goodness of it, right? The loving, the nurturing, the positivity, the dates, the dinners, right? But the reality of it is we're really not in it for that, right? This is what the trait journal is for.
The trait journal is coming soon.
So
It's in the lab. I'm incubating on it.
yes, because what's really big for me is what I've learned is many people take an eye off themselves and put two eyes on their partner,
Absolutely.
right? And in my book, The Shrouded Lighthouse, I was writing, I said, you have to watch how you're going to show up. You have to be observant of how you show up. And I was like, if you even journaled on that, how I show up in difficult moments, a lot of things within your spirit will be revealed unto you. The great Krishnamurti, who, relationship is a mirror, he said, relationship is a process of self-revelation. And if you're so focused on what I'm here for, what I need to be getting, what I signed up for, what you promised, you're going to miss little aspects and nuance of yourself that's showing up that is the real getting. Your thoughts?
So who doesn't stay in therapy? So this is coming around the mountain before we come. These two are the most difficult to keep in therapy and to stay in therapy.
Look at that.
Because they're not checking those boxes in the trait.
No.
They don't see it. They don't see it within themselves. So that's that piece about the narcissist. And Sean mentioned some parts about athletes and confidence. The difference between the true athlete, the confident person, and the narcissist is the athlete actually has the trophy.
How about that?
They have the actual skills. So parenting plays a huge role in this, and going back to what I was saying, the environment, that overly evaluating parent, making this child feel they are more valuable and more entitled to themselves than others, it poured in the wrong things to them. And then that other side of the coin is overly critical, right? So a child that's where you see those kids, oh, you're everything to me. I come from that 80s baby era, like, you can't hit the ball, you don't play. Now there's everybody gets a trophy.
We all win. Right.
No, sit down. Y'all saw Rudy?
Sit down.
Character gets built when you're sitting on the bench watching others do good things.
Well, we have to remember, in this society, most of us are spiritually unaccomplished.
Right.
And relationship is where you become accomplished.
Hopefully.
But
if you've been able to.
Many people don't want to do that work, though.
So they both need to.
See, you do know the work is, in most relationship, is centered on maintaining the home.
Right. Okay.
Right? And they think relationship work is, yeah, let's sit down and watch TV together. Or let's sit down and have dinner together. But if you're both toxic and nobody's doing any internal work, these are just breeding grounds for conflict.
Absolutely. It's people issues. So how do we get them to recognize that work that is needed? So again,
Trait journal.
Trait journal happens, but moral of the story, very, very difficult character traits and disorders. The narcissist and the borderline are very difficult to keep in therapy because that difficulty with being challenged or saying something is wrong with you, or you need help, or you need this kind of work, they'll leave.
They're not very self-reflective.
There's not any, like, it's nothing wrong with me. You can ask the narcissist, why are you here? Because this person said I should come, or work sent me. You know, things like that. Like, so what do you think you can do while you're here? Nothing.
Wow.
So again, it's that environment. And I like how Sean was saying, yes, we need to be present for children in the household, be loving and intimate with your partner, things like that in the home. But there is that balance. Too much of anything is not okay. Too much overstimulation for your kids and valuing them. After a while, the world is going to stop valuing them. They leave the house and reality check sets in.
Hi.
That picture's not nice. You know, elementary school kids are mean.
Right.
They are going to tell you, know yourself.
Oh, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we got callers on the line. Let's get them in here. Attila from Houston, Texas. Get in here.
Hi, Attila.
How are you? What's up, Mom?
What's happening? We in here cooking. You know what it is.
Yes. So I just have one question for Doc. So I've dated quite a few people with narcissistic traits, and honestly, I see a lot of that in myself as well. But I wanted to ask you, like, you know, you talked about borderline people getting with narcissistic people. What about two people with highly narcissistic traits? How would you characterize that? Honestly, that's my parents in a nutshell.
You say your parents in a nutshell? You know what? I think it depends on that side, what those traits show up. So remember, there's the overly stimulated narcissist that may think they're omnipotent. They are the God's gift, right? And then there's this other one that could just be the void also. So remember, there's those two big pieces about these two that they carry. So it depends on what they're presenting to the table. So how they both got there, they probably own a lot of things together. Right now, what do they argue about is what I would really want to know. Like, when you see them angry, what are they arguing about?
Is that the covert narcissist?
Yes.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes, that's the coverts, right? You may not know because, again, remember, these are traits. It doesn't necessarily mean these traits are bad. It's just what happens with them when they're showing up with other people. Typically, narcissists can't stay in relationships for a really long time because once the honeymoon for them wears off of how they see another person, they're done.
Image daters.
Right.
They're dating an
they
image.
They
yes.
really enjoy people that are of value, that are successful in their eyes, and what they can bring them to the table, because the narcissist thinks they're amazing. So only amazing could be brought to them if you're not feeding their wound. So it's hard to really answer that without being like, What are they?
Stay with us,
how are they-
Attila. Stay with us,
How are they
Attila.
showing up towards each other? How was growing up in the house? You know, those traits we have. Again, they're not bad. They do a lot of really good things, and especially maybe they've done their work.
Stay with us, Attila. When we come forward, oh, we got time? Okay, I thought you were saying we didn't have time. Continue
Attila,
cooking,
I
Attila.
know. Yes.
Okay, so you asked an interesting question about like what was it like kind of growing up, right? So for me, I just kind of wanted to stay out the way. I didn't want to. I knew it was very explosive. You know, they divorced around the time I was like maybe 6 or 7. And what's interesting is I don't have any memories before the age of 7. So I think that I just kind of learned to acquiesce to whatever, just to kind of keep the peace. And in turn, I feel like that made me a very angry person. But my anger is just right there under the surface. Like, it takes a lot for it to come out. But when it comes out, it is bad. Let me tell you. So I've had to do a lot of work with not internalizing things. And I still, to this day, like, do that. But I think the biggest thing that I took away from my childhood was that my loneliness is not my fault, and that essentially the loneliness is actually a gift. That was all that I had in childhood, to be honest with you, a lot of times. So, I don't know. And
Wait. Attila, hold tight. I gotta carry you forward because the doc has to unpack the loneliness as the gift. When we come forward, the voice of reason done woke up the whole city. Let's go.
That was nice. Attila's coming with it. That's,
You like it?
yeah. You rarely see two narcissists together.
Really?
Yeah.
Because they can't give to each other.
If that's what I'm like, I wonder what they argued about. Because one is not overtly. You know what I mean? So there's
So maybe an overt with a covert.
right.
Yeah.
And they're both so big about image. The kind of things that could happen in that house that would never come out.
Right.
Like, it could be violent, abusive, crazy. And but they both have images. Think about.
Come on, John Gilbreth with the $50 piece. John Gilbreth.
Oh, who said? Rick
What
said,
up?
I got next after Attila.
Who said that?
Britt.
Hey, Britt. I know.
Hey, Britt.
I got him on the line. Let's see. Y'all, man, y'all follow John's lead, man. Support this
My
channel.
mom is covert and my dad is more overt. See?
There it is.
And that, I wonder if that's gender. You know, it's so much. It's so much.
Well, you know, the information now is coming out that, I guess the research is that women are pretty narcissistic.
Of course.
Women are starting to like shift, and I think it has to do with the society in which we
Yes.
live.
And that's what I was saying before. It's like, the way society is being like, I deserve all of these things.
Right.
Like,
The I deserve movement
I'm-
and all of that. Yeah.
gold bags take care of me, and you bring nothing to the table.
Other than
Why would I
sex,
have to? I'm me because
Right.
I'm me,
Yeah.
and that's very, very true.
That's narcissistic than a
Absolutely.
motherfucker.
Like, why are you
Yeah.
great again? Because you're pretty? Because that hair's not even yours. So remember, these trophies, they believe they are, remember that worth? How much are you worth? You're not worth that much. None of this is yours. None of this is yours.
Should I do this? I'm sorry. See, when you be talking, listen. I be in radio
That's not
mode.
your body. That's not
Wait,
your boobs.
hold on.
That's not your hair. Them not
Should
even
I
your
do a
lashes.
topic tomorrow
Yep.
that says, I will give you the soft life. I will give you everything you deserve if you unconditionally forgive my humanity as a man.
Right.
I get to fuck up.
Ooh. If I have to accept all this,
If you listen, you got to accept the human part of me, the one
what's
that's
the
gonna
exchange?
hurt you.
What's the exchange?
She, right?
Uh-huh.
Look, they say, "Oh, here we go."
What's she got to what? Just accept you for all you, and then you will what?
Accept me for everything that I am.
And what's the return?
All my mistakes, all that.
What does she get from that?
She gets taken care of. She gets the soft life. She gets protected. She gets the whole 9 yards.
I think people do that. I think they, like, in a lot of these, relationships.
Because I believe a lot of women do not accept men for who they are.
I think the paid ones do.
The paid ones do.
I think, yes, sir. Yes,
Maybe you come back tomorrow.
Yeah, I think these paid ones.
Maybe we do that one tomorrow.
We watch these shows all the time. Basketball Wives.
Ooh, the paid ones.
The paid ones do.
So the paid ones put up with it.
Herpes, all that.
Ooh, if you don't come in, if you don't come back tomorrow. We'll do that.
The paid ones definitely do, so I'll call.
There are similarities in the behavior of people with borderline personality disorder and those with narcissistic personality disorder. According to the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, these conditions fall in the same cluster. People who suffer from them have a distorted sense of self, and their behavior can be unstable, moody, emotional, overly dramatic, and erratic. They also seem to be magnetized by each other. Here are several reasons why. Make sure to watch until number 1 because it explains why they keep going back for more. Number 7. Forming attachments. Both borderlines and narcissists are quick to form intense romantic attachments without knowing much about their potential partner. They bond very quickly and intensely. Most other people wouldn't rush into a decision like this. They would take their time to get to know the other person, introduce them to friends, spend time with them, and see how they behave in different situations. They want to see how the other person behaves around their friends and in different social situations. How do they behave in the good times and the bad? How do they react when faced with the actions of a toxic colleague or after having a bad day at work? Most people would really want to spend time with a potential partner before they commit to a relationship. The borderline is needy and clingy and feels that having a partner will ensure that they don't get lonely. Even when they become aware that the relationship is built on shaky ground, they still find it hard to leave. They'd rather stay in an unhappy relationship than face being alone. They're afraid of taking that step because they feel insecure and unable to deal with life's challenges. Narcissists find partners that will make them feel good, who admire them. This is what their self-esteem needs. An uncritical, supportive fan who adores them no matter what. They don't need much more than that, and as superficial as that may seem, it means that they don't even care whether the two of them are compatible. It is not a solid foundation for a relationship, meaning that things can also end very quickly. In the end, the borderline and narcissist want completely different things. The narcissist wants admiration and confirmation of how wonderful they are. Their self-esteem has to be boosted all the time. The borderline wants to be loved unconditionally. Number 6. Shared intimacy issues. Narcissists and borderlines lack what psychotherapists call whole object relations and object constancy. Whole object relations refers to the ability to see the positive and negative aspects of another person at the same time. This ability develops during childhood and is related to how the child is treated by the parents, regardless of their behavior. People who don't employ whole object relations might perceive another person to be one of the extremes, either all good or all bad, but not both. It is also possible to alternate between the two, and to sometimes perceive the other person as one and then the other. This implies ignoring for the moment everything that happened in the past that would confirm the other side. Neither narcissist nor borderline personalities can see the bigger picture and might shift between these opposites multiple times during the day. People who don't have whole object relations also lack object constancy. This means they can't feel positive towards someone when they're angry with the other person or feeling hurt by them. Narcissists and borderlines are also unable to maintain an emotional connection to someone who is not around. Out of sight, out of mind.
Oh, Lord.
Shared intimacy.
They're cheaters.
You done described probably 98% of people running
I got a
around.
couple traits of mine. I need a little stroke my ego every once in a while.
Everybody need a little of that.
Just make me feel good.
Lord
I'll
have
stay forever.
mercy. Are you toxic? Is it the relationship as a mirror? We talk about it all the time. Is your mirror toxic? We're on the Voice of Reason live from KBLA Talk 1580. I'm in here with my sister Dr. P. Mcall. Pacoya Mcall. She's in the building right now. She has a new book out called Winning is Everything. It's actually a journal on how you journal daily wins.
Yes, indeed.
Where can they find it? How do they
Track your
get
wins.
it?
You can track that on InsightMe, the letter NSIGHTME.com.
All right, let's get Attila from Houston, Texas back in
Yes,
here to get her
Attila.
final thought.
Yes, they match what they lack, those two narcissists, the narcissist and the borderline. So the narcissist and the narcissist is two different types in that house.
Talk to us, Attila. Was dad covert and mom overt, or the opposite? Talk to us.
The opposite. Definitely opposite. No, my mom was smooth with it, man. You would never know. And a psych major, so you just.
Oh yeah. See.
You would never know. I would say this. Very much so about image. Our family looks amazing on paper, but underneath the surface is the addiction, the violence, the arguments, right? The stalemates in the house. The whole temperature will change if something go down. So, what I'm into right now is stabilizing myself, because I realize that I think I've just been way too addicted to destabilization my entire life.
Absolutely. And I appreciate you for calling in and even just being so authentic and vulnerable and sharing this piece, because you can continue to do that work. What's difficult with the narcissists and the borderlines is that inability to say, this isn't right. Something's wrong. I'm going in and out of relationships, or I'm losing friends, or I'm attaching too fast, or I'm not getting the result of what I want. So even you being able to recognize, like, I got some explosive anger in there. I've done some work. That is where you can continue to work at it. Continue to work on it. And again, starting at the end of how you want to look, how you want to show up, and then going backwards from there.
Amazing stuff. Attila, guess what you just did, child?
I got Houston in the building.
Houston, Texas is in the building. If you want to bring your city into this national discussion, all you got to do is call me. The protocol is 1-800-920-1580. Get to your digits. Call me. Who's up next? A. Britt, Atwater, San Fernando Valley. Get in here.
Hey, Britt.
Yo, peace, love, prosperity to everybody, to the family. What's up to you, Don, Zoe, KBLA Talk 1580, the YouTube chat. What up? I got 2 questions, and that's it.
Let's go.
Here we go. Question for you, Zoe. Question for you, Doc. So, Doc, I know my attachment style. I'm an avoidant. I know who I learned it from during my formative years. Right? I don't want to be trapped. I don't want to be controlled. Right? Like, I got some difficulty showing emotion. I'm an avoidant, but I always attract the anxious.
Right.
Talk to me through. Talk to me. I don't want to be abandoned. Don't leave me. So, my question to both of you, am I doomed? Is this my task, Zoe, to always attract the anxious? Like, that's my first question.
Okay, you want me to answer that and then the doc?
We're going to get raw and then therapeutic.
No, because listen, I'm an anxious preoccupied, I believe, right? And somebody I was dealing with, I believe, is dismissive avoidant. And the reality of it is, number one, to answer your question, yes, you can change your attachment style. You can reprogram yourself, right? Most people have a difficult time doing that because what? They're not self-aware. They're self-unaware, so they don't even know what style they have. So this is why we talked about that trait journal. What's showing up? What are you paying attention to, and what are you keeping track of?
Right.
So yes, I do believe you can reprogram your attachment style.
Absolutely. Awareness, your perspective. I would invite you to shift your perspective around your own attachment. Like, just change, like, that's not my attachment anymore. And it sounds like, easier said than done, but it's intentional. So even when I'm telling people to track wins every day, it shifts your whole mindset about, how good you are as a person consciously and subconsciously. So I challenge you to shift. That's not even your attachment style anymore. Because when you
Don't claim it.
subconsciously attract the same kind of person, there's something beyond your awareness, even physical traits that come along with that type of attachment style. Like, just reflect on the last couple of people, and outside of that attachment style, what else was attracting you to them? And it could be something even physical. Like, what is it about that person that they're sharing, and that's like your trait that you want to stay away from. Like, if you start being like, oh, it's the short brown hair, it's the bobs. Nope, I gotta go the other direction, because the bob for me is coming with this. I don't know. I want you to see that other commonalities that these people share outside of that, and then challenge yourself to move away from that.
But peep game, hey Britt, you've been following me for quite some time. There is a spiritual reason for why you're a dismissive avoidant or an avoidant. It could be fearful avoidant, dismissive avoidant. There is a spiritual reason for that, and there's also a spiritual reason for why you would attract an anxious preoccupied. There are no accidents in the universe. I've already said it, man. There is some curriculum coming in. That curriculum is for you. I said the person who comes into your life is a question to an answer you carry in you the whole time. And only
I
they...
knew your finger was going to start shaking.
Here it is. Where are my organs at? Only they have the power to ask that question.
Ooh.
Your job is to answer it. You've been walking around with the answer this whole time, brother.
Someone asked a question.
You understand?
Let me, man, pass the collection plate. Collection plate to you and Doc.
Let's go. Challenge
No,
yourself.
but that's the purpose of relationship.
Right.
It's not just Netflix and chill. It's not.
It's work. It's work and work.
That's the work. We want to put the work on the partner.
Is your partner aware of their attachment styles? Or are you just aware of yours?
Ooh.
I'm aware of mine.
Or were they ever aware of theirs?
No.
See, there you go. So what Zoe is talking about, I've had this fabulous couple. I love them to death because they both unpacked their attachment styles with each other. They got so naked vulnerable that they literally were like, this is why I attached to you this way. We should read this book about being raised by a borderline or a narcissist. And then one of them called me and was like, hey, this is my attachment style. This is theirs. What should we do? You guys should talk about that and what it was like growing up in that house. And that's why you guys are having the arguments you have or attaching to each other the way you have. If you can get past that, you guys will be fine.
Golden.
Guess who's engaged? Not going to say I did it,
Doc,
but, you know.
thank you. So, thank you. Second question, last question, because I know we got to get other callers in here real quick. Are we using narcissists in this society, in this dating pool out here today, more frequently as we should be? Because I see everyone, I always want to say, oh, he's a
The
narcissist.
buzzword. Yeah. Buzzword.
Yes,
Like
I believe
trauma.
so. Yep.
Trauma
PTSD,
bonding. Relationship as a
everybody
mirror.
got ADHD.
Right. Everybody,
yes.
but I believe not very many people have the depth and the breadth of information to articulate from a clinical to a spiritual to a social. Like most people don't know how to mold or mend all of those together to make a cohesive thought. So it's really just punch words and quotes and TikTok and catchphrases, but they really miss the deeper nuance of what that really means. I appreciate you, brother. Guess what you just did, man?
I just brought LA in the building.
Los Angeles, the Valley, up in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, you know the deal. One of my favorites is on the line. We about to bring her in here from the SIP. Nikki from the... Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason is on fire tonight. You doing good. Huh?
The dark, the dirty, that's really big. About if two people know.
Hey, Ghetto Gourmet. If two people what?
If they know their attachment styles and they talk about them to each other.
Come on.
You know, because you're doing that yourself. Like, oh, this is okay. I know why I get angry.
I lean in when shit is wrong.
Right.
Especially if I'm the cause of the shit that went wrong, I lean in.
If his partner doesn't know their own attachment style, they don't even know how they're showing up.
And they
if
don't
he's
even know how
not
to respond.
emotional,
Yeah.
like to communicate, then he's gonna be caveman, like men have no emotion, and he's just gonna like muscle through it.
Right.
Versus being able to articulate that.
Right, right,
The
right.
emotions he's experiencing.
No, that makes sense. That makes
That's
sense.
why you're attracted, because you know they let you do that.
Ghetto Gourmet, we appreciate you guys, man. Please continue to hit that super chat. Show your love. Show your love. Kevin Nash is watching the show. Kevin Nash from KJLH.
Yes.
He said, Happy New Year, bro. I'm usually on the air during this time. I'm off tonight, tuned in. He said, your show is off the chain. Damn.
Let me wait.
He said, my enterprising mind is turning to see how I can help expand your territory. Great job, bro. We got other radio personalities in the city listening. We different over here. Hey, was that A. Britt? A. Britt Atwater. Let's go. We appreciate that 50 spot, man. Thank you. Man, y'all showing up tonight. How y'all think the show going, Pam? It's good. It's on fire tonight. Come on.
I know. Did you guys log in on the YouTube? Are you in the chat? Yeah. That's where the chat is at. You gotta go to the YouTube channel, Zoe Williams, right? This is Zoe Show on YouTube.
The Zoe What Show.
It's The Zoe What Show.
All one word.
Yeah, get in there. Get in the chat.
Live and 10.
Oh, yeah. Maybe I'm just like my mother.
Let's go crazy. Let's get nuts. Hey.
We're in there now.
The year was 1984. Prince dropped us with this Let's Go Crazy from the Purple Rain album. 2 years after Michael Jackson hit us with the Thriller album and the war began. Oh, when I was in school during that time, man, the girls were divided. You had one population of girls that were dressed just like Michael Jackson. They had the Billie Jean hat, they had the Jerry curls, they had buttons. Everything was Michael Jackson. But then the other half, all these young girls would come to school in lace. They had the lace gloves. They had the Prince buttons. Everything was purple. They had veils. It was literally a battle on every campus. Either you were Mike or you were Prince. Well, go ahead, Andy. We were on the side of whichever girl gave us any attention. I ain't gonna lie though, the Michael Jackson girls, no cap. They were the baddies. Not to say there weren't no Prince baddies. There were. But the Michael Jackson team, woo! The Michael Jackson team had Kobe, Shaq, Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird. Oh, it was ridiculous back in the day. I had to play it. My playlist is my co-host. Tonight's topic is just clearly on fire. We're talking about toxic mirroring. And we're talking about ways to recognize your own toxicity, right, while being in the relationship. Because oftentimes our attention is distracted. We're focused on what we can get from a person as opposed to what that person is actually giving us via the spiritual reflection of relationship. Now, again, everything you're saying tonight just locks and lines right up with my favorite philosopher, J. Krishnamurti. I talk about all the time. He says, as I said, relationship has true significance only when it is a process of self-revelation. When it is revealing oneself in the very action of relationship. But most of us do not want to be revealed in relationship. Do you see? He's saying in order to be in relationship, you must be spiritually nude. But most of us have accoutrement. Most of us have a mask. Most of us have all types of adornments to hide, obfuscate ourselves from our partner because we want to look as attractive. We want to look as appealing. We want to look as good as we can so we can get to that end result. You're here to make me happy. You're here to make me safe. You're here to validate me. Come on. Talk to me.
That is my job to do. So even how A. Britt was saying, and I thank him for even bringing these points out of just acknowledging, like, I may not be the most communicative or the most emotional. So it is, I can recognize these things in other people, but that other piece of that work is practicing those skills, how you do want to show up so you can attract the correct people that you want or you deserve, right? We've had these kind of conversations before, but it is doing that work and sitting down with your partner to do that work. You can use that to do that work.
But wait a minute.
How are we showing up together?
Hold on.
What are our toxic traits?
Hold on. If relationship is a mirror and you're unsafe, you might not know how to make yourself safe. You might not know how to empathize with yourself. You might not know how to validate yourself. Right. Could that be the problem? Because that is definitely the magnet. Talk to me.
That's how those two, our narcissists and our borderline, they are attracting. They're attracted to each other because they're attracted to what they lack, what they are lacking. And maybe that's consciously and unconsciously. I have to ask each couple, right, why are you attracted to this person? And then they tell me, oh, now tell me all the things you don't like about them. Are you attracted to that? No. Well, if you weren't, you wouldn't still be here. Those are things that you probably lack also. But we have to be open enough to recognize that and feel safe, like you were saying, within ourselves to admit those things to our partner so we can do the right work together.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, one of my favorite callers is in the building. This is her first call for 2024. I'm so excited. Ladies and gentlemen, the incomparable Nikki from Mississippi. Talk to me, Nikki.
What's up, Doc? We back.
Yes,
Happy New
yes,
Year.
yes. Welcome back.
Happy New Year. I was having those dogs. It's just a terrible place to be. I'm glad we were covering you.
Oh, we back.
If you need to do that topic you want to talk about for tomorrow, because I got some thoughts on that. You really do. But about tonight, I have a question for you and the doc.
Mm-hmm.
I need you guys to give me some food for thought. Because all of this conversation tonight makes me avoid it, which I am not. Because I have no rules for all this right here. But how do we exist, help, you said these types of people with these types of traits are more difficult to treat? For those of us who may have family members or friends even who are in these places, how do we help them without saying what I said in the chat earlier, which is they need 250 milligrams or get some help, extended release?
Doc,
You know what?
I have a very poignant answer, but I want the doctor.
I'm always honest with you can't. Like, you cannot always make someone want that. Like, you can't. Like, if they're not asking for help, these two, specifically carrying these traits, if they're not coming to you and asking you for help, there is nothing you can say to them because they are perfect. The narcissist is overly confident. They are fine. Your job is actually to serve them. So if you were serving them properly, you wouldn't see these negative sides of them. It's actually your fault. Same thing with the borderline. So
I'm talking about the ones that are.
they're asking you for help. They're saying, hey, help me find a therapist, because that's, at the end of the day, that's what it's going to be.
Or they are saying more of the, okay, I recognize.
Wait, Nikki, hold that thought. We've got to go forward. But when we come full circle, we're going to drill all the way, because they asking for help. Oh, Lord, here we
Send
go.
them my way. I'm always more than
Yeah,
happy.
the voice of reason has returned. Let's get it.
Yeah. Oh my. I know. I want to hear what you're gonna say. Don't you lose that thought, son.
Hey, man, this show silly than a motherfucker. Silly good.
See, that's where I first got it from. See, when
I'm
you're
during the
on there.
break.
I know. That's where I was like, I heard it.
You gonna blame me?
Absolutely.
Because you be cussing?
Only on break.
You don't cuss on break.
It was one time.
You cuss
though.
on the air.
One time.
Anyway. Yo. Y'all holla at me, man. We in here. Where are my supporters? I need y'all to call in. I want to hear. I saw Truemonger is sick.
Oh,
I saw Ghetto Gourmet. I saw John Gilbreth. Y'all got to call in. We want to hear from y'all. Zoe has cussed on air too, didn't I? I did one time.
Truemonger, feel better.
I did one time, actually. Felicia Ford, thank you for the Cash App. I appreciate that. Where my people's at? Felicia Ford, can you call in?
Yep,
Call in and talk to us. We know Truemonger is sick, so you chill. Okay, John is at work. You good. But there are others in here. First off, lurkers. People in the background that are at work. Attila calls them lovers and lurkers, or lurkers and lovers. They love the show, but they lurking. Y'all say Happy New Year at the very least. Can y'all give us that? Can y'all just say Happy New Year, Zoe, welcome back, whatever. But y'all got to call in. Stop playing. We need callers. Call us now. Because after Nikki, no more callers. And I mean, me and my sister can hold it down. But
However, on the contrary,
we love the callers.
somebody better put something controversial in the chat at least.
Ghetto Heisman, get in here.
I want to know who has borderline traits or narcissistic traits, and what are they? Let's go.
What would you say mine are? I know I got some.
You know, it's such a list. I would have to list. It's not easy to just throw those
She
things
said
out.
it's such a list.
No, of different traits that they may have, not
Like-
necessarily the ones that
Like
you
got
have.
a whole litany.
I think it's you can flip real quick when you're
Okay.
angry.
When I'm
and
angry?
that's a narcissist, but a lot
Yeah.
of people can. So when we're talking about traits, but your flip, like you go in.
My flip is the flip.
When you flip, it's that black and white, all or nothing. There's a difficulty with holding that
Once I
part of good, that this person's still good, you will dog them.
once I discern you on some fuck shit, the flip is crazy.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say your explosiveness.
Yes.
Is a little traity.
That's a trait.
A little
I
trait.
give you that.
You're a little traity.
Little
You got a
tradie.
little traity.
A little
I-
tradie.
You're a little traity. I don't know. So
You're a little
and I don't
traity.
even know what triggers the explosiveness if it's a piece of when you're criticized. Like I don't know that. But when a narcissist goes like DEFCON,
Yeah.
it's because they were criticized and it hits that wound.
Mm.
Oh, they're gonna tear your whole. They'll burn your house down.
Yeah, I don't fuck with the. First off, I like constructive criticism.
See, there you go. So,
But if you
criticism
come
is
at me-
criticism is criticism, and especially if you don't think that person's worth being able to criticize you.
But if you coming at me and it's dumb and it's disrespectful
Okay.
and it's inaccurate,
I don't know, bro.
you dumb, disrespectful, and inaccurate criticism,
Disrespectful and inaccurate.
you gonna
You
get
cut
flames from me. Dumb, disrespectful,
Mhm.
and inaccurate. You're going to get hell heat from me.
Mhm.
But if it's intelligent, if it's respectful,
Mhm.
I mean, people have said. Let me tell you something.
You know what? I can.
People have said some real fucked up shit to me, but they have said it in a way that was calm, and I was able to just listen and take it in. Even though when I went back, in hindsight, I was like, oh, that was a Jedi mind trick. That was some real fucked up shit that was said.
There you go. That was a narcissist talking to you.
Yeah, the narcissist was like, why didn't you say something,
Damn
man?
it, the narcissist in you.
Somebody said, fuck a minefield. That's funny. Where in the hell is Reggie? Didn't we see Reggie? Reggie got to get back in here. Where Reggie? I'm not seeing my lovers and lurkers saying what's up. Where y'all at?
Shame.
Don't shame nobody now. God.
Shame.
Key Love is in the building. What up? Who is that? Brown and Tua. Happy New Year. What up? Tommy Hooks. What up? "30 seconds. Are you guys enjoying the show? Are you guys enjoying the show? Holla at me. Felicia Ford. Let me tell you now.
YouTube channel on narcissism, narcissistic abuse, and all kinds of stuff relevant to difficult, toxic relationships. It's my hope that this content and this channel will help you cope, heal, and just understand these relationships a little bit better. Now, throughout the month of May, we're featuring videos on a range of mental health conditions to provide some basic education on this range of issues, as well as to tie these mental health issues to both narcissistic abuse and narcissism. And today, we'll be talking about borderline personality disorder. Keep in mind this is not at all an exhaustive examination of these other mental health disorders. Those would take hours. So it's sort of an overview, but then tying these patterns into narcissism and narcissistic abuse so you can see the linkages and place these in a greater context if you're looking at it from those perspectives. Now, borderline personality disorder has a lot of relationship to narcissism in general, and you're going to see, even as I describe borderline personality styles in general, you'll see where some of the overlaps are, but you're also going to see where it's quite distinct. Borderline personality disorder is really characterized by one word, and that one word is instability. It's instability in identity, instability in how a person views themselves, instability in a person's goals, instability in relationships, instability in emotions. And then that instability is also accompanied by other behavioral issues such as impulsivity, risk-taking, and chronic manifestations of hostility and difficulties with anger management. When we look at the overall symptomatology of borderline personality disorder, we're looking at patterns such as abandonment is a major issue. People with borderline personality are frequently engaging in frantic efforts to avoid any form of abandonment, real or imagined. There's a pattern of very unstable interpersonal relationships, and these relationships tend to be characterized by going between two sorts of poles, between an extreme of idealizing somebody, the best thing that ever happened to them, and utter devaluation, but a lot of going between the two. Another common element of borderline personality that we see is disturbances in identity. A person with this personality style will have a very unstable sense of self and a very unstable just general self-image. We tend to see impulsivity, and impulsivity can be in a variety of areas, and usually areas that are
Ladies and gentlemen, the VOR, Happy New Year, back in the building, live on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm in here with my sister, and she is on complete fire. Dr. Pakoya Mcall from ofNsightMe Services. ofNsightMe Services, spelled capital N, SIGHT, capital MER, one word, ofNsightMe Services. Listen, she's no joke, and she is breaking this topic down. We have our favorite, well, one of our favorites, because everybody is my favorite caller. But we love us some Nikki from the SIP. Nikki from the SIP, get in here.
Well, I was just saying that they may not be coming right out saying, okay, I need help in those words, but perhaps they have arrived at a place where they're comfortable enough with me to say, okay, I recognize these traits, which is saying a lot because it took a lot to get them to there. Mm-hmm. And I want to handle them, or maybe not mishandle them, by calling them the C words, and make a suggestion in a direction, or perhaps steer them, since they're comfortable with me enough to get this far, so that they stay open to the idea of actually getting the help. But I don't want to say it in a way that would be off-putting, that would cause us to regress to the point where they aren't comfortable with me anymore.
Absolutely. And as I was saying before, those two types are really, really difficult to work with and help and maintain because of that ebb and flow of their anger, right? So it is, you are going to have to walk on eggshells, but I would encourage and I would say, hey, when they're coming to you and they're being in that vulnerable space and saying, hey, I recognize these things about me that aren't working or whatever it is, ask them, how can you help? What is it that they see that they need from you? Or are they needing something from someone else? You have ask them, how can you help? Because it's a volatile situation. And remember, they're wounded, easily wounded. So if you even start suggesting, you run the risk of getting rejected anyways, and you'll become the bad guy. So be careful. I would ask, how can I help you? Is it even just to listen? Do you just want me to vent today? Do you even want me to do anything? Because maybe they don't. You have to specifically ask them, how can I help? Or is there anything you need from me?
Right. And then I think we should drill down on help.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times people are asking for help because they want to pass off the responsibility of the self-work.
There you go.
Right? And I think we have to show up in a way where we say, listen, you going through it, but I'll go through it with you as a companion. Mm-hmm. But you've got to do the work. I mean, it's just like when we're dealing with our kids, right? You know, there comes a point where we recognize, oh, my kid is playing because they don't want to do this, right? Mm-hmm. But good parents recognize that and stand back and say, yo, this is part of your maturation. You're going to have to do it yourself. However, I'm right here. And sometimes we have to do that with our significant others. And that's the best help you can give them because, like I said, for me, my wisdom, what I've gleaned, in my years, is that many people are codependent because they're not independent spiritually.
Absolutely.
Right? They're codependent relationally
right.
because they're not independent spiritually.
Right.
Meaning, I know me. I've accepted me. Dark, light, gray, I've accepted all of me.
Right.
And I love me, I approve of me,
right.
I'm still working on me, I know I'm a work in progress, and I'm okay with that. It's rare you find people there. So people are relationally dependent because they are because they are not spiritually
right.
independent.
So Nikki, do you feel prepared to even walk this journey with this person?
Well, I've got a couple that I'm already doing. I'm fairly decent at asking what does help mean to you.
Okay.
The person who is recognized. And normally, if I ask what does help mean to you, it forces those individuals to actually have to define it for me. So it's not coming from me. It's coming from them, the solution or the means of help.
Right.
I just wanted to make sure that I am being sensitive to the place that they're in, since they're comfortable enough with me to even say it.
Right.
Well, then that's trust, that's empathy,
Yep.
That's safety, right?
I get that all the time.
But a lot of people will miss or distrust you if they know you will tell them the truth. I know people ain't ready for that bar. See, listen, they not ready for that. They say, well, you know what, I'm going to go talk to somebody else who
Absolutely.
I know will be resistant to telling me the
right.
truth about it because they see it, they understand what I'm going through, and they know what I'm doing to myself.
Right.
So guess what? I'm not going to talk to them.
You want the good kind of help. They want their own kind of help.
Yeah.
And we have walked with these two in particular because they know me well enough to know I'm a straight shooter. So to even get them to a point, because very often, like you said, one of the things that makes me a secure attachment is I listen very well. I can stand in the loud, boisterous, angry, and be okay. And because they have seen me respond to any or all of their and other people,
and then wait and say, okay, you really want me to tell you what I'm thinking, or is this just chess?
Mm.
It has taken some pulling back of the layers with them to get them to a point where they would even communicate, okay, I think I might need a little something.
Mm.
And not be playing the game with me so that they can get to be dependent upon me to stroke and rub their ego. I don't do that. I got dogs and horses and all that for that.
Dogs, cats, and horses to be
All
stroking.
that.
Yes.
You don't- you're not the one to stroke no egos.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
You know, my elephant ears love that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they know that. And since these two people do know that, and they've gotten to a place in this new year where they're willing to acquiesce to seeing these traits, I don't want to betray them in that place
Mm-hmm.
That's
by
understandable.
saying something insensitive that not only sets our environment backwards 150 steps, but that makes them close down again where they're not open anymore.
Right.
You know what? I love you, Nikki. Nikki is such a gentle spirit and a kind
Conscientious.
soul. Very conscious. Nikki, what? Go ahead, Nikki. You have one more thing. Go ahead.
And that's the empathic part of me does that. That's not even me. That's the gift.
Mm.
Right.
Well, we get the gift every time you call in now.
Shit. Correct.
The me has left the room. The gift is still there dealing with it.
We love
Because
you.
I want them to be better.
Yeah.
If they want to be better.
But you can't want it more than them, though.
You got that right.
Right.
There you go.
Walk with
Nikki,
them.
guess what you just did?
Gotta sip in. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, Nikki from the SIP. Hey, we got LA to wrap it up. When we come forward, Felicia. I love that name, Felicia. Is that how you say it?
Right.
Is it Felicia?
But you can fancy it up.
I
too.
like
She probably-
Felicia.
Oh, heavens.
Felicia Rashad. No. When we come forward, more from the VOR.
Felicia. Why does it look like it's spelled that way?
You got close to cussing
No, I
again.
didn't. No.
Did
I
y'all
did
hear
not.
her?
No, I did not.
She got close to cussing
No, I did
again.
not. No, I did not.
Hey, listen, we are $15 away. Why? No. Well, who is it? They super chatted $100 on the KVLAs.
They did it on the wrong one.
They did it on the wrong one. And I ain't never got no money back from the KVLA site.
How do they do that? Like if they do it on the wrong one versus.
They did it on the wrong site. What in the world? Yeah, y'all gotta go over to sometimes go visit and say, don't super chat over here. Go to Zoe's page. What in the world? And here I am trying to get this last little 15, and somebody dropped 100 over there. Lord. John Gilbreth said, let me clear it all up. He just dropped a C note in here. Thank you, John. Damn it.
The season. Happy New Year, everybody.
John Gilbreth.
We made it.
Man, thank you, brother. What in the Feast of Samhain is going on? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Man, I hope you guys are feeling it all year. Now, today's show was great, though. And it flew quickly.
I know. I was like,
John Gilbreth, my goodness. Somebody said you must have got your income tax early. Hey, man, we appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. Wait, is our Elay listening?
They should be. I put it in there. You did too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in there.
I don't know, so.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Possibly.
my playlist is my co-host. Listen, let me just give you a quick rundown. We did Borderline, Madonna. We did Let's Go Crazy, Prince. No, let him float under me for a second. We did, Crazy, Gnarls Barkley. We did Her, Damaged. I saw you skip. I was like, I was reading it and then it skipped. I said, okay, he's picking the ones he like. Yeah. My playlist is my co-host. I try to match the songs to the topic, man. And we've really been on one tonight, man. The Relationship Funhouse, Toxic Mirroring. Heavy stuff. We got one last caller on the line. Myself and my god sister is in the building right now, Dr. Pacoya Mcall from ofNsightMe Services. You have to say it that way. She is in here cooking. Before I get to the caller, I want to read this quote by J. Krishnamurti because his work just, intersects so well. He says, in this relationship of psychological dependence, to even look at it that way, we are psychologically dependent. What did I come to the table with? What do you come to the table with? We have to have equally yoked values. Do you see that? We are Isn't that crazy? In this relationship of psychological dependence, there must always be conscious or unconscious fear, suspicion that often lies hidden in pleasant sounding words. He don't listen. If you haven't healed anything, watch this. There's psychological dependence. When you start doing the healing work inside out, guess what? There's no more psychological dependence. I don't need to psychologically depend on you. So he's labeling this psychological dependence as attachment styles, personality traits, unhealed trauma. He's laying the whole thing down under this term, psychological dependence. You think you picked a good one because their performance is sharp early. Oh, the circus music is playing. The fun house, right? But when the psychological debris, the spiritual stuff that hasn't been embraced starts to pop up, what you gonna do then?
Retreat.
Yeah, that's what people do. Let's get this caller. Because we only got 3 minutes. I'm in here talking. Felicia from Los Angeles, get in here.
Hi, Felicia.
Felicia. Hello? Hello, Felicia? Felicia? Did we lose her? In the name of Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, we lost Felicia. Call us back. Sis, where can I get your work here? Winning is everything.
Winning is everything because it is. You can get that at ofNsightMe.com. the letter NSIGHTME.com. They're out there. Good gifts to yourselves, to your family members, to the narcissist, to the borderline. Tell them to track your traits for 30 days. See what you come up with.
Track your traits. I'm telling you. Do I need to write the book? Okay.
I got it. I'm going to come back and drop it on you guys.
That's what I want to hear. Felicia, you're in the building. You got to make it quick now.
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I do not even know where to start. I really don't. You know how when you're at church and the message matches the music?
Yes, ma'am.
The theme song, some Roy Ayers in here.
Yes, ma'am.
Not good.
Yes,
this is so deep. This is better than church today. God forgive me. This is better than church.
Oh, thank you.
I just want to say thank you for getting my new year off to a good start and for helping us get to a place where we're reflective and we can answer some of these questions on our own. I really appreciate this. And that's all I wanted to say, because I couldn't make it any quicker than that.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Felicia, call me tomorrow. I'm on tomorrow. Call in. LA, man. We love it.
Yes. Let's do this. Let's do some different things. Let's not invest in Netflix and all these other shows and stuff. Let's click, hit, like, and subscribe all at the same time.
Hey, thank you, Felicia. We appreciate it. Listen, we don't have all the answers, but we know how to start the conversation. We started. It's up to you to finish it. We appreciate you guys for tapping into the first Voice of Reason show of 2024. I'm so excited. I'll be back tomorrow, 7 to 9 p.m. And of course, the fire will remain lit. My friend, your friend, my sister, your sister, Jill Monroe is up next. That's RSVP with Jill Monroe. I'll holla.
We did good things, so.
No, that was fire, sis. Yes.
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 I will.
Yes.
Great show. Thank you, love. Happy New Year, Jill. Yeah. That's fire. Straight fire. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tapping in. Love y'all. Holla at y'all tomorrow. Deuces.